arm over the police officer's left shoulder and his left arm under his right arm, and then drove him down to the ground.
And then, Ms. Carmona, any agreed PRs?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Judge.
No, it's okay. All right, so let's get started. Good morning, sir. What is your name?
Keelan Hunter. Good morning.
Say it again really quickly.
Keelan Hunter.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Hunter is currently booked on resisting arrest. That bond is $1,500. That's a case pending out of CCR 3. And then assault on a peace officer, that bond is $10,000 at the trial court level. He's going to be represented by Ben Ivy based off of his pretrial risk assessment. He is a level 4 risk. Mr. Huffman, whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Hunter is 23 years old. He's a United States citizen.
Excuse me. I'm 22, sir.
Are you
Judge,
going off of your spreadsheet? Because that spreadsheet adds 1 year to everybody's age.
I apologize, Mr. Hunter. He's 22, Judge. Your Honor, he's from Georgia. He's been in El Paso for 2 days. He's provided us an email address, as well as his mother's number. He's single, no kids. He has a girlfriend in El Paso. He has some money to pay towards the bond, Judge, but he has been unable to bond out. I assume it's because he hasn't been able to get a signer here in El Paso. I don't know. Judge, he's a rapper. That's what he does for a living. He's been doing that for about 2 years. He had a show in El Paso. That's what he was doing here in El Paso. And I do have notes saying that is the issue, Judge. He does not have a co-signer with a Texas driver's license that's willing to bond him out. If he is released, Judge, he can figure out a place to live in El Paso with a friend. He just hasn't been able to get a hold of those friends. And Judge, for those reasons, we're asking for a PR bond or something that maybe he could pay just a straight cash bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
And then while you were proffering, he was raising his hand, so I think he wants to add or correct something that you were saying. Go ahead, sir.
I'd rather you not talk about the actual case, sir, but if it's something about the bond.
Yeah, it's just about the days. 'Cause I've been out here since last Wednesday. I got booked for 2 shows. I got booked Friday first, and then while I was here, I got booked for a show on Sunday at Sombrilla.
You've been here a little longer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, thank you. Ms. Carmona?
Yes, Your Honor, in regards to criminal history, he just has some domestic violence history out of Florida. In regards to the facts of the case, it was at Legends Bar. I guess they were called out to a fight in progress with weapons. He was identified by the security at Legends Bar as someone that was possibly involved. So the officers wished to speak to him. He got pretty combative with the officers, said that he would not talk to them. And as they he wanted to walk away, as they attempted to stop him from walking away, he turned around and I guess it says in a grappling manner, so I imagine like in a wrestling type thing, put his arm over the police officer's left shoulder and his left arm under his right arm, and then drove him down to the ground. This caused the officer to sustain injuries to his hand, his temple area on his face, and it of course caused him pain. And then when they tried to place him under arrest, he continued to resist. Because he does not really have ties to El Paso, and due to the nature of the offense that he is charged with, the state would be opposed to any PR bond and believes that the bond is appropriate where it's set.
Thank you. And then Mr. Huffman, because the assault on a peace officer, he's prohibited from a straight PR bond on that. So could you ask him about how much he believes that he's going to be able to raise to post?
Judge, my notes indicate he's got a roughly $1,500 to go
1,500.
towards a bond, but it would have to be a
Yeah,
cash bond.
okay. So let me do this. I'm going to, on the resisting arrest, I'm gonna place him on a full PR bond. The supervision level is gonna be enhanced. He is allowed to report, by phone if he is gonna go back, to where he's from, but I would like for him to agree to waive his right to the formal extradition process. Do you have an objection to that, Mr. Huffman?
I don't see a problem with that. Do you understand that, Mr. Hunter? To waive your right to extradition, to challenge the extradition if Texas wants to bring you back, if you're in a different town or county.
So you basically saying like if I have to come back, I will be willing to?
Without having the right to an extradition hearing, just waiving that right, and then Texas just bringing you back.
Yeah, I just don't know what extradition means. Sir.
So let me kind of explain that process to you a little bit before you make the decision. So let's say if I'm allowing you to go back to your home, and that you report to the PR bond office by telephone, if you end up having hearings here, which you will, because one of the cases is already filed, you would need to attend these hearings. If for whatever reason we were to issue a warrant for your arrest for not attending the hearing, violating conditions of bond, there's a process if you're in another state for coming back to Texas. The process, ordinarily, people do have the right to refuse to come back voluntarily, and we would have to submit a governor's warrant to get you back. It's kind of a long, tedious process. If a governor's warrant is issued, we would have to go through a process of issuing it, but then also bringing you back, okay? If this happens and you've waived your right to that formal process, you've already at that point said, I'm willing to come back without having one of those contested hearings. We would still have to send somebody to come and pick you up. But we wouldn't have to do any additional work as far as a governor's warrant is concerned.
I mean, if it's anything like y'all need me to do, I'll do it. I don't got no problem.
Okay, so I'm going to then split the assault on peace officer bond 8,500 PR 1,500 cash or surety. You can post 1,500 here at the facility. And then once you do that, you'll be released, but you're also going to be on partial PR bond, which means that you're going to have to abide by the following conditions. While you're out on bond, you are to commit no new offenses, provide and maintain contact info, report to the PR bond office as instructed, and you agree to waive your right to the formal extradition process. You agree to abide by those conditions?
Yes, ma'am. And I have people here in El Paso too.
Pardon me?
I have an uncle here in El Paso too if I need to stay there.
You could stay with him, and that might be a better idea, because if you're going to have to be coming back and forth for hearings, I imagine that that's going to become costly at some point.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Perla, do you have any questions for him?
Yes, Judge, thank you. Mr. Hunter, what's your address in Georgia?
Jessup, Georgia.
What's your email address, sir?
.com. I have two, but that's the one I'm gonna see.
Okay. What's your phone number? And what's your mom's phone number, sir? Okay, what's your mother's name?
Lottie.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Good luck. And Mr. Swala, who are you here on? I'm sorry, I should have asked.